to settle down where pretty girls are. Well, you know that I'm around. I kiss them and I love them, cause to me they're all the same. I hug them and I squeeze them, they don't even know my name. They call me the Wanderer, yeah, the Wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. Oh, well, there's Flo on my left arm and there's Mary on my right. And Janie is the girl, well, that I'll be with tonight. And when she asks me which one I love the best, I tear open my shirt.
And good afternoon, I'm Bill DeFabio. This is another segment of the Variety Show. I'm here till 2 o'clock with the lovely one across the way, Lola Miller. February 5th, Super Bowl right around the corner. And I'll be going down to Center Market. I already put my order for a lot of goodies, including some wine. So, yeah, like I said, I like spending my money in West Virginia. All right? I went down to the restaurant, thought I'd make Lola and yours truly a sandwich. I thought the sandwich was good. What do you think, Lola? Pretty good?
Yeah, it was real good, thanks.
So I said to myself, Bill, because I talk, there's no coffee. So I made a fresh pot of coffee, okay? I'm still drinking it. It's the worst coffee I've ever had, and I made it. What did I do wrong, Lola?
I don't know, Bill.
I mean, it's Folgers, I clean the pot out, hit the button, boom, I don't know.
Is it too strong or not strong enough?
Not strong enough.
Well, then you didn't add enough coffee.
Oh. But, I grind the beans and everything, and it goes into the little container, and then I put it on the pot and put it, I don't know, I made it before, and it's great. Could it be the cup? Nah, I don't know.
No.
All right. But, it's going to keep me awake. Once again, we're loaded up with guests. We're going to basically talk a lot about Super Bowl. There could be an interception here between now and 2. Trying to get a hold of John Stallworth. He's a CEO of a big-time business in Tuscaloosa. And he always has meetings like between 11 and 3 or whatever. So yesterday he called, he said, I can go on the air. John, Stall, hey, Stall, it's 2:45. So I told him last night, call anytime, and who's ever on the air, I'll just put him on the sidelines. So we may get a call, and we may not. If not, we got a lot of Super Bowl talk. We have a lot of the employees here, all 5 of us, with predictions, 4 of us, including Donnie from Moundsville. He's doing his show now. So we'll go over that. But the legend is on the airwaves. And he told me something interesting. John Stallworth, when he was a player with the Steelers, used to eat at his restaurant, Carlton. You want to drop any more names, Bobby?
Well, Billy, I'd like to drop one name, and that's my 8-year-old grandson. He's 4-0 in the playoffs. I looked at him, and I said, is Pappy the smartest man in the world? He looked at me and he said, Pappy, you're not the smartest man in the world. Einstein was, and he's dead.
Oh, my God. How old is this kid?
8 years old.
All right.
He's unbelievable.
All right. Is he going to go 5-0, you think?
He loves Tampa Bay.
Does he?
He'll have his Brady shirt on. He'll be running around all day Sunday.
Wow. Okay, let's get down to business while we have about 26 minutes or so, okay? Take it away, man.
I'm gonna go here with props. You have a lady that's gonna be refereeing. It's first time in history. Sarah Thomas. Now, Billy, is she gonna be wearing her hair in a ponytail, or is she gonna be wearing her hair up?
Don't tell me you can bet on that. You can bet on that?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I think she has to wear a ponytail.
Well, you got to put $500 up to win 100. But if she wears it up, you can win $300.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about Sarah. That's going to be cool beans,
Okay. Tom Brady, if he high fives an official.
You're kidding me.
Plus 600 and no 1500, minus 1500. So you can win $600 on that.
Yeah. What if he hugs an official? What if he hugs an official? Is that unsportsmanlike conduct?
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
All right, I give up. What's next?
Andy Reid's mask design. Leading the way right now is the Chief logo. If it's a single color, but here's the one I like. Hawaiian theme. You can win $700 if you put $100 on the Hawaiian theme, because he's known for the Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, yeah, okay, that's good stuff.
the other coach, Bruce Arians' cap, the color of his cap. Leading the way right now is red. So you actually lose money if you say red.
You know he's got the biggest coaching staff in the NFL? 29. What do you do with all these guys? You know? And half of them are ex-Steeler players.
Followed by the Giants. The Giants have 27.
Oh, boy. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know what today is, don't you? It's Friday.
I don't.
But on this date, 2016, the Steelers win a record-tying 5th Super Bowl, 21-10 over Seattle. I thought I mentioned that yesterday. Hold it. Do I got the wrong paper here? No? Antoine Randall, I think he's on the coaching staff with Bruce Arians. Boy, he's got a lot of good players. Larry Foote, but, it's going to be cool beans. Brian Leftwich, the quarterback coach, who I think someday should be a head coach. You may be disagreeing with me, but that's my opinion and my platform. But he has surrounded himself with a lot of people that worked as a player or coach with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, hey, did you hear the big news with Bill Cowher?
I didn't.
He's coming out with a book. Black and Gold Strong or something. I wonder if I'll be in the book when I teased him with... when I played Santa Claus and had him sit on my lap. That was a funny one. That was a funny one, but I did stupid things when I was younger. You ever do any stupid things?
Never.
Okay, I know you're perfect. Okay. All right, let's talk about the game. You want to hear what I have? I have the Bucks 35, Chiefs 31, MVP, Antonio Brown with two TDs and 110 yards. Now, if that happens and I bet, how much will I make?
You could possibly make $5,500 if you put $100 on Antonio Brown.
Ooh. You want to hear what Lola prediction is? Chiefs 37, Bucks 33, MVP, Mahomes.
That's almost a slam dunk right there.
Yeah. Biff, who's got 1,500 jobs here, he's got the Chiefs 31, Bucks 28, MVP, Patrick Mahomes. And we got one more. Big Rick, who's the host of the Big Rick Show or the Big Show on the Big Rick, whatever. He's on from 2 to 5. He's got the Bucks 38, Chiefs 35, MVP Brady. And he says Gronk retires on the field following the game. How about that?
That's pretty sharp bet there.
Yeah.
They're all pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
But fact not fiction, the legend here. I got some things here for you.
Okay.
Last six games, Tampa Bay has scored 30 or more points.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, as a home dog, is 7-2-1 against the spread. In their last 9 games, Tampa Bay is 7-2 against the spread. On grass, Kansas City, in their last 9 games, are 1-8 against the spread. This is a big bucks, Mr. DeFabio. In the last 27 games, Kansas City has won 25 of them. Okay. With that in mind, I think a lot of those players are a little too timid to play against Mr. Brady. But I think it's all down to coaching, and I like Andy Reid. So I'm going to go 41-24 Kansas City.
41-24. Wow. Who's the MVP?
And your MVP is going to be Travis Kelce.
That's a good choice. He might have an unbelievable day. But
yeah, him and Kelce and the little receiver are they're your and Mahomes are your favorites.
Hill.
That's where
you talking about Hill.
Hill, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, nobody can chase him down once he grabs the ball. It seems.
But you could take the field and win $750. I like that wager.
Okay. Any more updates? You gave us one about the tip-off, Star Spangled Banner, or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
not the tip-off, the kickoff. Will it be late? Will it be early because of TV or what?
I have. You know what? This is what you like, the coin toss.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Through the years, Heads has won 25 times. Tails has lost 29 times.
I didn't know they had a stat for that.
In the last 10 games, The team that has scored first has won 8 out of the last 10 Super Bowls, 10 out of the last 13 Super Bowls.
Wow. Didn't know that either. Okay. Were you up all week?
Okay.
Were you up all week looking this stuff up, or you just from top of your head?
Here's a good one. If they show Tom Brady's wife, over 1.5 is minus 240. So you got to lay money to lose money to bet on Tom Brady's wife.
Well, you know they're going to show her. You know they're going to show her. And I hope they show her a
And
lot. No, I don't. I'd rather see kids having fun.
If they mention anything about the Patriots, over 2 times is minus 180. So you have to lay 180 to win $100 if they say anything about the Patriots.
Wow. What about if they show Robert Kraft?
Nothing on Robert Kraft.
Okay. All right.
You could bet on the position of MVP. You can bet on the quarter. The quarterback is leading the way right now at minus 500. But all the rest, the wide receivers, the tight end, the running back, and the defense are all plus. So you can make money on them.
You know what I'm worried about, Legend? And I've talked to people here, talked to people through the week, my friends. There's so much hype on this game. Hype, you know? It may be a stupid game when you think about it. What if it's low scoring, like 14-10 or something, you know?
Did I give you the weather report?
You can bet on the weather?
75% chance of rain,
Okay.
65 degrees, and 19-mile-an-hour winds.
Field goal kickers may have a hard time. But knowing Reed,
Is it?
knowing Aaron's, if it's close, like 4th and 2, they're going to go for it instead of kicking a field goal. Maybe. I don't know.
Since you mentioned that, Billy, kicker, hitting crossbar, missed field goal. You can bet on that. Yes is 300, plus 300. No is minus 500. So if it does happen, you can make money on that.
Okay. How about this one? From the start of the game to the end of the game, how many bottles of Bud Light will Lola put away? What's the over?
I'm going 3.
3 bottles or 3 cases?
3 bottles.
Oh, no. Lola, is he off base?
You better go the over.
That's why she's the best. Okay. You know what I don't like? Somebody from NFL Network said, and you know what? When you look at the Super Bowl, both quarterbacks are usually good. That these two, Mahomes and Brady, are the best all time. Are you kidding me? I
just saw that.
I was in Stanford, California, and it was Marino versus Montana. I saw a couple of times Bradshaw versus Staubach. You know, the first Super Bowl, Bart Starr versus Len Dawson. So, you know, maybe they're in the top 5, but I don't think they should be number 1. But it's probably young guys who never watched Bradshaw and Staubach or don't remember that 2 Western Pennsylvania guys played in a Super Bowl, Marino and Montana. But it's still a great matchup, you know?
You picked 2 and 3. They said Marino and Montana and Staubach and Bradshaw was
That
3.
was their survey? Okay. And we could go Drew Brees and Manning, you know? There's a lot you can do there. But everybody has an opinion.
Speaking of Manning, remember when they hiked the ball over his head for a safety?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A safety has been the first touchdown 3 times, and all 3 times the team that has had the safety, it's been 100% 3-0 or 3-0 in the Super Bowl.
Wow. How about, can you bet on a blocked punt?
That's the
I got you.
That's the kicker missed field goal.
Okay. How about penalties? Total penalties in the game.
I got one here. Touchdown overturned replay. I told you I came to bat today.
Oh, you did. I tell you what, you're like Barry Bonds without steroids. You're hitting a lot of home runs today. I said, what can I expect from the legend that he didn't tell us during the week?
I forgot one here. Concussion exit. If somebody exits on a concussion, you could win $275.
Oh, my goodness. Man, we couldn't talk like this 30 years ago, 20 years ago, right? You know? Some people are complaining, why are they showing betting lines and companies during the game? Well, that's part of advertising, you know. Nothing's sacred anymore. You know, growing up in this business, I was told, never, don't talk about betting, Bill. Don't talk about betting, you're not allowed. Oh, now everybody's talking about betting because it's a big, 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 big business. So, all right. Well, I'm a big Gronk fan because I remember him playing in a high school all-star game in Pittsburgh. You have catches on him or TDs on him?
MVP.
Okay.
Plus 6,600. So you go down to Wheeling, take Biff with you, and put $100 on Gronk to be the MVP. You can make a lot of money.
Okay. All right. Who's this from? Bill, my favorite prop bet of the Super Bowl is Tom Brady rushing for half yard. Yes, a half yard. Okay. That's a text message I got. All right. I think we've got everything. Who's doing the game? Tony Romo? Is it CBS? CBS?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Romo and Nance.
I love Tony Romo. Better broadcaster than a quarterback. I mean, he was a decent quarterback, but what was it? A couple of years ago, he was calling the plays. This is what Brady's going to do. Was it against the Rams? I don't know. Looks like they're going to hand the football off to. And I'm there. How impressive is that? Or maybe somebody through his headset told him, this is what the play is. Make us look good. But I really like him. And I like Jim Nance. I like him when he's doing golf. So, you know, that's good.
That's a shame they got rid of Sims. I liked Bill Sims when he was in there, too.
He's okay, but I like these two, you know? I like these two. I didn't like when Bruce Arians was in the broadcast booth. He acted like he didn't want to be there. And I'm glad he came back. He says he's going to continue to coach. So I can't lose. I'm a big Andy Reid fan. Great interview, good guy. Wisniewski is on the Kansas City team. I still don't know why the Steelers released him. And I'm a big Patrick Mahomes fan. I love Kelsey, all right? He reminds me of Heath Miller. But I also like the Bucs because half of the coaching staff I knew because they were either players or assistant coaches. So I can't go wrong. If the Chiefs win, good. The Bucs win, good. What about, to close it out, overtime? Not an overtime winner, overtime. How much should I bet?
Yeah, you could you could win an extra $50 or $75.
That's all?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I could do better than that. I thought I could really do better than that. What do you remember about the anniversary of Super Bowl 40 when the Steelers beat the Seahawks? What do you remember about that game?
Hines Ward being the MVP, as you mentioned, Antoine Randall, throwing the pass, and they still hear the Seattle quarterback crying about Big Ben's touchdown not being a touchdown.
Yep. Well, even if the referees made a mistake, that happens, you know. I remember I was way up, I think they had the radio and TV guys way up in peanut heaven there at the Ford Center, whatever they called it back then. And you could barely see. That's why they gave us little binoculars in our media kit. They don't do that anymore either. I remember, as they were ready to introduce the Steelers, leading the way, the first guy called out was Jerome Bettis. He runs out on the field, turns around thinking the team's coming out. Nobody came out. It was planned by, I think, Larry Foote, I'm not sure, that, let him go out there by himself. And he's out there looking around like, where are my players? Then they came out. I thought that was one of the coolest things ever. He's back home playing in front of his friends and parents. Detroit's his home. He's at a Super Bowl, and, God love him. He deserved a big day under the lights, and I thought it was a good game. I enjoyed my stay in Detroit while everybody, I like New Orleans. I like Pasadena. I like Miami. I had a fun time in Detroit. I wanted to stay an extra week, but, that's that. All right. Hey, thank you, man. And we'll touch bases on Monday to see if you're right or wrong. So I have a bet that you're more right than wrong. How's that?
I appreciate that.
I put down $5. Maybe I'll win 15.
I appreciate your confidence.
All right. Thanks for the update on the Carlton. I didn't know that was John Stallworth's favorite restaurant to eat in.
Yeah, he brought his whole family one time.
Oh, man. Man, I tell you what, some of the all-time greats have gone to the Carlton. And I love the place. little bit expensive, but the food is great. The service is great, especially when some guy, Bobby the Legend, comes over and waits on you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You can take one sip of water and he'll be back to refill it again. I had to
I
tell
have
you
a
to
lot of
stop
good memories.
I had to tell you to stop bringing the pitcher over. Okay, thank you, man. Be safe this weekend, okay?
You too. Thank you. Thank
right.
you, Lola.
See you.
You got better on the puppy bowl.
3 bottles of beer. That won't even last during the coin flip. See you, legend.
Goodbye.
Oh, Lola. All right. Good stuff. More good stuff coming up. A big-time celebrity. We used to travel together. You know, he still talks to me, thank goodness. John Clayton, the sports voice, out in Seattle, coming up right after the break on the Watchdog.
Celebrate the 55th edition of the big game with exclusive 55-1 odds on FanDuel Sportsbook. And if you've never tried FanDuel before, new users can bet on either team and get 55-1 odds. Now, FanDuel has all kinds of ways for you to win. They've got a wide range of options, big super boosts every weekend, odds boosts and specials all the time. Your withdrawals come very quickly, and it's easy to register, deposit, and easy to find your bet. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, use promo code Monroe to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Monroe. Brother Biff is betting on Kansas City. He says it'll be a close game, but he's predicting KC to win if you want to get a little suggestion from Brother Biff. So download the app and get started. You must be 21 or older, present in Pennsylvania or West Virginia, new users only, must wager on designated boost markets, deposit required, maximum bonus $275. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-GAMBLER.com.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You got it!
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go. 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all,
Yep.
you probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy Paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Oh, there's something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Shauna Johnson. Appointment spots are filled with people aged 65 and older for community coronavirus vaccination clinics being held today in 27 Mountain State counties. This week's efforts to hold such clinics in all 55 counties wrap up tomorrow. Virtual plans are now being made for this year's West Virginia Safety Expo, an event that usually draws emergency workers from across the Mountain State to the capital city for training in the spring. Kanawha County Emergency Management Director and Fire Coordinator C.W. Sigmund says because of COVID, online is safer this year.
We don't want to have a whole lot of responders all together, and the thing we know, a bunch of them are out of circulation.
Training and retraining are big parts of that expo. It's currently up to 11 inspectors in the State Department of Environmental Protection's Office of Oil and Gas to monitor all oil and gas wells statewide. Drilling is down, but Ohio County Senator Bill Ehlenfeld says that won't always be the case.
This cyclical industry will come back, and so we need to make sure we're adequately staffed when it does come back, but we also need a permanent fix for all the wells that exist today and will continue to exist and continue to have some level of productivity.
He's one of the lawmakers prepping a bill to be introduced during the regular legislative session to put a $100 annual fee on existing wells to pay for additional staffing. The session opens Wednesday. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. New scenic train trips could be an option in Pocahontas County before the end of the year. Those with the State Division of Highways, the State Rail Authority, and the Durbin and Greenbrier Valley Railroad are working together to replace a bridge connecting Durbin and Cass over the Greenbrier River. Cindy Butler is with the authority.
This private-public partnership is, I think, a really good way that we demonstrate DOT as one agency.
The old Trout Run Bridge was washed out in the 1985 flood and never rebuilt until now. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Shauna Johnson.
Attention Facebook followers. You can now watch the Valley's #1 morning show with Howard Monroe, weekdays 7 to 10 a.m., only on Watchdog Radio and the Watchdog Facebook page.
The bluest skies you've ever seen are in Seattle, and the hills the greenest green in Seattle. Like a beautiful child growing up free and wild, full of hopes and full of fears, full of laughter, full of tears, full of dreams to last the years in Seattle. In Seattle, when it's time to leave your home and your loved ones, it's the hardest thing a boy can ever do. And you pray that you will find someone warm and sweet and kind, but you're not sure what's waiting there for you. The bluest skies you've ever seen are in Seattle, and the hills the greenest green.
We're talking two Hall of Famers here. Perry Como, he's in the Music Hall of Fame. And of course, John Clayton. I just remembered him as a ordinary reporter in Pittsburgh covering the Steelers, and now he's a superstar. Maybe the sports voice of Seattle. But are the skies bluer in Seattle? I've been to Seattle a lot of times. It was always raining. John?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, once you get past really October, I mean, you don't see the blue skies too much. Although right now it's not too bad. It's not raining today, but we get a lot of rain all of a sudden, January, February, and March. So it doesn't get the blue, but when it is blue, it's great.
Yeah. Today's the anniversary of Super Bowl 40. I remember having breakfast with you almost every morning, and we didn't have to pay because it was, media back then. But we talked a lot, and I always ask you about, well, Saturday's coming up, John. What do you think about the Hall of Fame? So we're not together in Tampa. You're still in Seattle. I'm here in Ohio Valley. So I got to ask you about the Hall of Fame. Will Alan Faneca be inducted this year?
I hope so. I mean, I don't know because we took our vote 2 weeks ago, and they've not told us the results of the votes or anything of that nature. And in fact, just to find out tomorrow, we have to sign a non-disclosure agreement just to get the list 2 hours before they announce it. Wow. So I'll just have to wait until then. But I made the plug that, as I do every year, that we've got this long list of offensive linemen that we're down to 2, Tony Vaselli or Alan Faneca. And I pleaded with everybody to try to make sure we get one of them in so that we can get the next guy in next year, because both of them deserve. I feel, and that's not, and I don't know, that Faneca probably has the better chance than Vaselli. Vaselli was great. He's a left tackle. He had a shorter career, roughly, 5-6 years, but he was great during that time. And then Fan, of course, had the longer career, and, of course, the Pro Bowls, 8 Pro Bowls and all that stuff.
He was the one
so I'm hoping that Faneca gets in, if not Tony Vaselli. But, again, we won't know till tomorrow night.
Is there a chance that both of them could get in?
It's a chance, but what's going to be tough is that, we only have 5 spots for the modern-day players. And we know that Peyton Manning is going to make it. We assume that Charles Woodson can make it. But then also you have Calvin Johnson. And, I don't know if he should be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, again, you watch him play, and you know he's that good. He's Hall of Fame caliber and will eventually make it. But does he deserve to be in the first year? So now if you're talking about 3 that'll be first-ballot Hall of Famers, then it's going to make it tough for both guys to be able to make it in. Because you also figure that there's mounting sentiment that maybe John Lynch could be able to make it because he's been waiting so long as a safety.
Wow, I forgot about John Lynch. Does it help Vaselli that he was a pretty popular and a pretty good broadcaster?
No, doesn't help. I mean, because again, we're judging the football, not the quality of the person or anything of that nature. Our mission, because again, we like, for example, if there's some negative things out there, we really can't take that into account. We judge what happens on the football field. So even though he's a great guy, I mean, I know that, I guess you could say technically I'm a coworker of his in Westwood One, but no, it's like you hope that he can make it. He's a good guy, but again, what you don't know is the stuff off the field, just you can't put into any account.
What if my name is Bill DeFabio and I'm a star defensive end? I've been to 11 Pro Bowls, won 4 Super Bowl rings, but yet I had a lot of problems with domestic violence. You mean that doesn't fit in the equation of putting me in or out?
Nope, it doesn't.
Wow.
You're judged on what you do in football. I mean, O.J. Simpson, of course, we found this out after the fact, but it's like he's going to remain in the Hall of Fame and all that. I mean, we know that Terrell Owens had a lot of off-the-field issues, too, and he got in. But no, it's like if you have a domestic violence thing or anything else, I mean, I know baseball would take into account, even with the steroids and everything else. But in football, for the Hall of Fame, it's on the field, and that's it.
Okay. I was reading last night, I don't know if it was a group of NFL reporters, I don't know if you were part of it or not. They're claiming and they're saying that this is the best Super Bowl game featuring the best quarterbacks. And I'm thinking better than Staubach and Bradshaw, better than the Western Pennsylvania's Joe Montana versus Dan Marino. Are we going out on a limb on this with Mahomes and Brady, or should this be the best ever matchup?
I think it's one of the best. I think it is the best because you've got, as great as Montana was, as great as Bradshaw was, as great as Staubach was, but Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. He's been to 10 Super Bowls. He has a chance to win his 7th. And you can see he makes the move from New England, and next thing you know, boom, they go to the Super Bowl. So he's the greatest ever, and you look at Patrick Mahomes, and he looks like he's going to be the next greatest. So, certainly you look at those matchups in the past, and usually what ends up happening is that the top quarterbacks of that era, or most eras, usually are in the same conference. Like, for example, I mean, you go back to '83, and John Elway, Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, they were all in the in the AFC, and then you go back to Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, they were all in the AFC. But again, I just think this one's so intriguing because you have to acknowledge that Tom Brady is the greatest ever because of what he's been able to do in New England and now Tampa Bay. And you look at Patrick Mahomes, and you can see there's a whole bunch of Super Bowls going to be written in his name.
Wow. Are you concerned that that's not the best offensive line around because there are a lot of backups now in the first position?
You mean in backup quarterbacks?
No, backup offensive linemen for the Chiefs. I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's a big concern because, I mean, you saw what happened in the NFC Championship game that, Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul was able to get all kind of pressure when David Bakhtiari was not able to play because of his torn ACL. and so they got 5 sacks and 8 quarterback hits. And so it's a problem because now, I mean, they're down 2 tackles. They don't have Eric Fisher, who went to the Pro Bowl, was just selected with the Pro Bowl. They don't have their right tackle, Mitchell Schwartz. So when you put both of them out of there and you got Mike Remmers and Andrew Wiley, that's going to be tough.
Now, you're not going to be in Tampa, right?
No, I'm here in Seattle.
Okay. Next year it's in L.A. That'll be a quick trip for you, right?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. How many Super Bowls have you, I think it's 48, am I wrong?
44.
How many? 44?
44, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is the first one I've missed since 1983.
I know I've been a lot, but...
And then, of course, the bad part is, not going down to Tampa and then being here in Seattle, where Cox Communication has been eliminated from DirecTV because they haven't had a deal. And so, technically, as of like 7:30 this morning, I would not be able to watch the game.
Wait a minute, you can't watch the Super Bowl game?
I can now because I had an antenna installed to be able to watch it. But there's no deal right now with DirecTV and the CBS affiliate here in Seattle, as there are in a lot of places around the country.
Oh, my goodness, that's really strange. That's really strange.
No, I went through this 2 months ago when the NBC affiliate didn't have a deal with DirecTV.
Maybe you ought to switch to cable. What do you think?
Well, I mean, got DirecTV, so we'll see. But and again, it's like I have to have DirecTV because I need the Sunday ticket, and they have the Sunday ticket.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's unusual in this time of whatever. It's 2021, and you can't watch the Super Bowl? Give me a break. All right, you want to hear my prediction before I ask you for yours?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. 35-31 Bucks. MVP, don't laugh. AB, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
What do you think?
Not bad. I mean, we're kind of in the same vein, except I go with the other team. I go with Kansas City, and I go with Kansas City 34-31.
I like that number 35-31 because I think the best one if I've ever covered or watched was Super Bowl 13. A nice comeback by Dallas, and the Steelers won 35-31. You were at that game, right?
Mm-hmm. I was there, yes.
In Orange Bowl? You probably were in the press box. Stan Saver and I were in the cheap seats, auxiliary radio or whatever it was. But
yeah, I was at the press box.
Yeah, okay, yeah, make me feel
I
bad.
was covering for the press.
Yeah, okay. The Pittsburgh Press. I remember the newspaper well.
Yeah.
It seems like a long time ago, but when you think of Super Bowls, I just think that was one of the best ones. You have a favorite?
I agree.
You have a favorite one that you covered or watched?
I honestly, I think the first New England Patriots Super Bowl against the Rams was really good because you had dramatic comebacks and things of that nature. You can certainly maybe say when the Patriots came back to beat Atlanta down 25 points, that was pretty good. But because remember, particularly in the first 20 years of the Super Bowl, the games weren't very good. I mean, the games were pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
But then you started to see now of late, the games have been much closer and much better.
Well, a lot of people like you and respect you. These are some that I don't like to drop names, but I can for the Super Bowl. Rocky Blyer, John Banaszak, Jack Ham yesterday, they all said to say hello to you, okay?
Oh, great. Thank you. Say hello to them for me.
Yeah, and we know the Banaszak story with the shoulder pads, huh?
That's correct, yes.
He never held anything against you, right? Because you were just doing your job.
No, in fact, he came over to me, and I think he was kind of tipping it off, and he says, "Hey, could you help me out with my shoulder pads?"
And you did.
I did. So it's like I had to pull the jersey over his shoulder pads, and we had a photographer there, and the photographer took the picture.
Wow. Did Noah ever say anything to you?
Not really, no.
Okay, because you cost the Steelers. Well, the move cost the Steelers $10,000 and what? A number 3 pick?
That's right, number 3 pick.
Okay.
But they were going to take a tight end, and the tight end ended up having a lot of off-the-field issues.
Oh, okay. All right.
As I find out later.
Yeah, I could just see you trying to put his jersey over his pads.
Yeah.
That's great stuff. I think someday you think we'll be allowed in the locker rooms?
I hope so. I mean, I'm not optimistic for next year, because I don't know how long it's going to take to get everybody vaccinated, but I kind of get the feeling we might have to go through the same Zoom as we did this year for next season.
And you know
I hope
that
not.
the coaches, players, and management love that we're not in the locker rooms. You know they love that.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You know, I don't know how your guy feels in Seattle, but I know that the Rooneys, I mean, they won't say it out loud, but gee, we miss the reporters, do you? Okay, what's your take on Ben? Is he coming back or not?
He's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, it's just a matter. I don't know if he has to take a pay cut or rework some things, but no, I think he'll be back.
Okay, all right. By the way, all of the ex-Steelers that we've had on, I've lost count at 8, I asked them the same question. Did you ever think that Terry Bradshaw, Little Abner, would become a megastar in TV sports and TV comedy series? And they all basically said they're not surprised. So, did you think he was
Well,
going
yeah,
to become
because, the reason I'm not surprised is during his career he's doing movies.
Yeah, with what, Burt Reynolds and Jackie Gleason? Wasn't there a movie about sports cars or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Smiling all the way to the bank, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
The only thing that's different right now is that with Jimmy Johnson, staying and doing his stuff virtual, that Jimmy doesn't have to fly in to pick up Terry and fly him to L.A.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. The shows are in L.A. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I had a list of stuff. You covered everything like you do every year, so I owe you another dinner someplace, because it's been a while since we've gotten together. And hope everything is well, John. And it's always a pleasure to have you and Perry Como on, you know?
There we go. Bluest skies.
Bluest skies in Seattle. Okay, I won't sing. Thank you very much. Enjoy the game, and let's keep in touch as we always do.
Okay, Bill. Thanks.
All right, thank you. John Clayton. I remember that. I thought Joe Gordon, the PR guy, was going to take him aside and maybe break his jaw. But Joe Gordon was a smart guy, wouldn't do that. He yelled at a few people. He used to yell at me. Why'd you talk to Bradshaw in the parking lot, to Fabio? You know that's a no-no. I'm sorry, Joe. And he would forget about it. But that was a big thing back then, you know? And it cost the Steelers $10,000. I know it's not very much, but it's money. And a third-round draft pick. And here, you know, John Clayton was helping John Banaszak pull the jersey over the shoulder pads. The shoulder pad incident. I remember like that was yesterday. That was yesterday. Lola, we got some time. I don't know if we'll be able to do it later. You want to go over the oldies sheet?
Sure.
Okay. What is today? Bobby Day. I didn't read this. London's finest known as Bobbies were named after Robert Peel, who was born on this day in 1788. I wonder if they're still called Bobbies. Are they called Bobbies?
I have no idea. You should ask Butch. She was just there last year.
Oh, okay. All right. The Shirelles, I saw them at Capitol. 1961, they were winding up their first week of #1 on the music charts with Will You Love Me Tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day. All right, that was 1961. And they worked with Neil Sedaka on a lot of songs. He was already a star, and the Shirelles became a star. We don't like the Dow Jones. Yeah, we don't like, what film was popular in 1999? Payback. Wasn't that with Mel Gibson? Yeah, I forget. He's made so many movies, you know. Super Bowl 40, as I mentioned, took place on this date in 2006 in beautiful Detroit, Michigan, in a beautiful indoor facility, Forbes Field. I think a couple of times during my 5,000 reports that week, I said Forbes Field, all right? But I was corrected, as I should have been. The Steelers clinched their 5th Super Bowl victory. At that time, it tied 49ers and the Cowboys for the league's highs, and of course, they won again in Super Bowl 43. Hines Ward was your MVP. He had 5 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. Bill Cowher finally won his first Super Bowl after he lost Super Bowl 32 Dallas. Okay, there you go. No tickets were available to the general public because they was all distributed by NFL teams only. Okay. What do I remember about that? Oh, I had a great week in Detroit. You know, I could have spent 2 weeks there. How ironic is this? On this date in 1934, Hank Henry Louis Aaron was born. Prior to today, of course, he just passed away a few days ago, he would have been 86. Today, if he was still living, 87. I still think he's the home run champ, okay? Didn't have batting gloves, didn't use steroids, he did everything naturally. And he had 714. He was also a baseball executive with the Braves. He played with the Milwaukee Braves, an all-star for 7 years, And he was in the World Series in 57 and 58. And, the home run champ, I'll tell you what, he was amazing. I remember watching, and I have it on DVD, the best all-star teams and lineups. One time in one outfield for the National League, you had Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente, and Henry Aaron in the outfield. Think about those threes, all right? Those three players, all in the same outfield, on the same team. Wow. And I love watching Henry Aaron. I saw him at Forbes Field a couple of times, okay? Who's on the air, Lola?
It is Dan.
Dan, what's up?
Hey, buddy, I got two things to tell you, okay? Where did you go to high school at?
Trinity High School in Washington, PA.
Well, you ought to tell your teachers they did an excellent job with your math skills.
Well,
Because you said Henry Aaron died last week at the age of 86. Today's his birthday. If he was alive, he'd be 87.
that's right, yeah.
That's good math.
Listen.
But leap year.
But I made D- in algebra, so go figure, right?
That's sorry, but I'm going to tell you something. You had the guy betting on this game.
Yeah?
Okay, I want you to bet $100 there's going to be some outside interference in this game. It's going to be something. I don't know. A power line's going to go down. Somebody's going to just going to be some unrest at this stadium. Okay.
Well, there won't be unrest if you're not there. Everything will be okay, right?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of guys with machine guns.
Oh, geez, don't go there. Come on.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying,
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying that something bad's going to happen. But the way this year's been, something off the wall is going to happen.
Well, maybe a power shortage if it's going to rain a lot. Who knows, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or halftime performance, the equipment don't work or something.
You can never tell. Well, tell me before I say goodbye and have a good weekend, who do you like and why?
I think Tampa Bay's going to win because that's the way, you know how the WWE has their script?
Yeah.
I think this thing's scripted. I think it's scripted. Tom Brady in Tampa Bay playing in Tampa Bay. Just like on 9/11, the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. So you think that the fix may be in, huh?
Well, you know what? Just work. Man never landed on the moon, and I would recognize Elvis Presley anywhere in the airport because I saw Roy Orbison. Goodbye.
Every time I hear the Dan's on the line, I'm thinking, what's he going to come up with that'll make me laugh? But he made me laugh. Yeah, there could be some outside interference. I guess there's 22,000 fans going to be there, and it's a home field for Tampa. But, with 75% rain or maybe some thunder clouds or what, maybe the power would go out. Or, during the halftime show, which is too many people involved. And that's when I go out and make sure I have another cold beer ready. Do you watch the halftime show now, Lola?
Not usually.
Yeah.
That's when you go out and you get everything ready for people to eat and go to the bathroom and you let the dog out and.
Because it's usually about a half hour long, so whatever.
I thought it was only about 20 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. I remember the Stones. You ever hear my Stone story?
Probably.
The Stones perform during the week taking Q&A questions from the media. It's usually on a Thursday. So the guy's passing the mic to ask the questions. One of the guys was the Baltimore Ravens PR guy. And he said, Bill, you want to ask one of the Stones a question? I said, yeah. So I said, Mr. Jagger, all right. And I'm way in the back, but, with the microphone and the speakers. What was it like to play on Ed Sullivan's show for the first time? And he said, I think we were all nervous. We didn't want to screw up because, Mr. Sullivan, he said, was a tough guy to work with. So whatever. But I got my 5 cents worth in. My 2 minutes of valuable time. I had to know somebody to get the microphone, but that's the way it is in everything. All right, we're halfway through. From John Clayton, we're going to go to Ray Fittipaldo, and we're going to talk about the Steelers' connection in this game.
Go.
Well, we're going to go. As low as
The
says
Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
His case to pass his COVID rescue relief plan directly to the American people and calling on Congress to act.
A lot of folks are losing hope. And I believe the American people are looking right now to their government for help, to do our job, to not let them down. So I'm going to act. I'm going to act fast.
The president says he still wants bipartisan support, but says the Republicans' counteroffer, which is about a third of his plan, falls short. The Senate passed a budget resolution with some amendments to advance the bill.
Nearly 900 GOP amendments were drafted as part of a marathon debate on the budget resolution in the Senate. Only a fraction of those were considered, with a few victories for Republicans. Senators approved an amendment that would prevent the federal minimum wage from increasing to $15 an hour during the pandemic. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham.
Most small businesses in South Carolina and throughout the country have been struggling to stay open.
And another amendment was passed that would prevent undocumented immigrants from receiving stimulus checks. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
The Labor Department jobs report shows the U.S. economy created 49,000 jobs in January, not enough to make up for the millions of Americans that have filed for jobless claims in the pandemic. As the COVID-19 response team briefing today, health experts say they're sending military personnel to help with the rollout at vaccination sites. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky also says cases are beginning to trend downward.
The United States continues to see a decrease in COVID-19 cases since its peak on January 8th. The number of new cases on February 3rd, approximately 121,000, represents a 61% decrease since the peak on January 8th.
Law enforcement agencies continuing to search for suspects in the wake of the U.S. Capitol siege. This ahead of the next week's impeachment trial against former President Trump begins. You're listening to ABC News.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Well, as the world's blandest man, the idea of insurance made for me is almost riveting.
Big fan of beige?
I find other neutrals too unpredictable.
That's cool. Liberty Mutual's just here to protect your home with customized insurance.
And here we've got my doorstop collection.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
As a dentist, I know what my patients are saying during times when they really can't speak.
Mm-hmm.
She says her gums are irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you can do? Absolutely. You can try New Crest Advanced Gum Restore.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, New Crest Advanced Gum Restore. It detoxifies below the gum line to restore your gums back to health in just 7 days. Exactly. Healthy gums, healthy mouth.
New Crest Advanced Gum Restore. Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
It's Super Bowl weekend. Health officials and the NFL want to keep the big game from turning into a super spreader event, even while some places are allowing for more gatherings this weekend. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Tampa.
For the limited number of fans who will be inside the stadium on Sunday, strict COVID protocols are all in place. But for the thousands more who are already in town looking for a place to party and looking for a place to watch the game, the message from the city and the NFL: have fun, but be safe.
The fatal shooting of a New Mexico state police officer is sparking a high-speed chase and a shootout.
Officer Darian Jarrett was assisting in a Homeland Security investigation when he stopped a pickup truck on Interstate 10 west of Las Cruces.
Officer Darian Jarrett went out there today and was serving his community the best way he knew how. I love him for that.
Robert Thornton was Officer Jarrett's chief.
And everyone that's here loves him for that.
Officer Jarrett was shot and killed after that traffic stop. Suspect Omar Felix Cuevo was pursued 40 miles east to Las Cruces, where he jumped out of his pickup truck and started shooting at police. He wounded another officer but was killed in the shootout. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Ford is cutting production of its best-selling F-150 pickup because they say a shortage of semiconductors. Because of that shortage, the automaker is temporarily cutting the number of shifts in its truck production plants in half. General Motors and some electronic producers also reducing operations due to the shortage. This is ABC News.
Beachcombing, baking cookies, learning French. Aren't these what you'd rather be doing than thinking about your Medicare prescriptions? Well, Walgreens is here to help you get back to it with convenient refill and pickup options, expert pharmacists to answer all your questions, and Medicare copays as low as $0. Zero. Which is also the number of cares in the world you'll have as you stroll the beach, eating cookies and speaking French. Oh la la. Walgreens.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans where Walgreens is a preferred pharmacy.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Are you struggling to make payments due to an unexpected financial obligation or loss of income?
Are you receiving calls from debt collectors? Are you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what steps to take next? Then you need the experience and expertise of attorney Tom McIntyre and his staff to help guide you through these temporary hardships. Want to hear more about how Tom can help? Then call 877-456-4155 and receive a free copy of Tom's ebook, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Tom's ebook covers many questions people have about bankruptcy and includes interesting stories about people who tried to avoid filing and people who have filed for bankruptcy. We think you'll be surprised to learn some interesting facts about bankruptcy. Call 877-456-4155.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
This is Living Fire Chief Larry Helms, reminding everyone about the seriousness of this COVID-19 in our region during these colder weather months. This virus is spreading rapidly and could put a strain on our hospitals and emergency services. I am asking everyone to please wear a mask. It's important to make sure your mask covers your nose and your mouth at all times. Wearing a mask is one of the only defensive tactics we have to slow this virus down. Remember, wear a mask, stay apart, and wash your hands.
Hey, it's Howard Monroe, and I want to take a minute to give you a shout out for FanDuel Sportsbook. They found the perfect way for everyone to get in on the action this Sunday. I'm talking about Big Game Bingo. You can claim your free Big Game Bingo card right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. The card automatically fills up as you're watching the game. So once you've filled 5 squares in a row, all you have to do is call bingo to claim your share of $100,000 in prizes. That's right, FanDuel giving away $100,000 in prizes for free. FanDuel, the exclusive home for Big Game Bingo, and your card is waiting for you right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. The app is easy to use. It takes less than 2 minutes to sign up. There are more ways to win on FanDuel during the big game, but there's no excuse not to miss out on this one. Big Game Bingo, perfect for everyone. You can win your share of $100,000 in prizes, and it's absolutely free to play. Only on the FanDuel Sportsbook app.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy Paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Hello everyone, from the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Mostly cloudy skies, breezy, a high near 35, overnight low of 23 degrees, partly cloudy conditions. Mostly cloudy for your Saturday with a high near 31. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
And we're back. Before I talk to my next guest about Super Bowls and Steelers stuff, there's another coach in the Burgh named Mike Sullivan. Unbelievable story. His name is Mike Sullivan, and You know the Mike Sullivan for the Penguins? This is the Mike Sullivan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was named the team's quarterback coach. Boy, he's got an interesting resume. He's worked with the Giants, the Buccaneers, Denver, Jacksonville. He's a two-time Super Bowl winner. He also worked with quarterback Eli Manning as both quarterback coach and offensive coordinator. Okay. So I'll ask my next guest, Ray Fittipaldo, was it a good move by the Steelers to get another Sullivan in Pittsburgh?
I hope this Sullivan is better on the power play or coaching the power play.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. He's got a hell of a resume. He knows something about coaching quarterbacks, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he tutored Eli Manning. He's been a coordinator in addition to his time with the New York Giants. He's a coordinator with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's nice to get some experience on the staff. You know, Mike Tomlin's previous two hires on offense, Matt Canada, never been an OC in the NFL, and then Adrian Clem earlier this week, never been an offensive line coach in the NFL. So it's nice to get some experience on that staff for the offense, and he seems like a pretty good hire.
We get along with Matt Canada?
Well, I would certainly, this is Matt's first season as the OC, so he's going to have a big say-so in that offense, but I'm sure they didn't bring this Mike Sullivan in here, just to be a spectator either. So he's got a lot of experience in the NFL, probably more experience coaching in the NFL than anyone else on that offensive staff right now. I know Ike Hilliard has been a coach in the league for about 10 years. He's the receivers coach. Running backs coach Eddie Faulkner's only been in the league for 3 years. So all of a sudden, Mike Sullivan steps in here. He's the most tenured or the most experienced offensive coach on the Steelers. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out with Canada. But, I certainly expect that they would, share ideas and play nice.
I hated to say goodbye to my buddy Tom Bradley. Did you see that coming?
I don't know that I did, just because, the defense wasn't the problem for the Steelers last year. I thought the secondary, overall actually played pretty darn well. Probably not great at the end of the season when they needed them to, but, I thought for 3 quarters of that season, the secondary was tremendous. So they obviously kept Terrell Austin on. He and Tom had, kind of shared those duties the last couple of years, and now it looks like it'll be Austin's job altogether, and we'll see how that goes. But no, I was not expecting Tom Bradley to get fired.
He'll be replaced, right? Or maybe they don't need him. I don't know.
Well, I haven't heard any names coming in to interview for that job, for line coach, for coordinator, obviously, even for quarterbacks coach. You hear names who are coming in for interviews. I haven't heard anyone coming in for interviews to be the new secondaries coach. So maybe they are just going to give it to Austin, and, he'll handle it by himself like Bradley did before he came on. But, we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
Ray, do I have to buy the paper after I win the Powerball? Do I have to buy the paper and get rid of everybody and make you in charge of all Steeler news? I'm reading this great story by Brian Batko about, all the Steelers and that on the staff of the Steelers. I thought you would be writing that story.
Oh, Brian covers the Steelers for us too. Does a really nice job. But yeah, how about that? Very interesting. Not only the players on the Bucs, they got Justin Watson from South Fayette.
Yeah.
They got Jordan Whitehead from Central Valley.
Yeah.
But their coaching staff, Antoine Randall, Byron Leftwich, Larry Foote, all these guys were here for those couple of Super Bowls, earlier this century. So kind of a neat storyline for Steelers fans. I don't know if Steelers fans want to see Tom Brady win another ring, but I'm sure they're rooting for some of those coaches on that staff who, won some Super Bowls with the Steelers.
Tom Brady's just 2 years older than his coach, Brian Leftwich. Is that unbelievable?
How about that? Yeah.
What are you writing about Sunday? Since I spent $4 and I can go public with anything you write.
I'm trying to think if I have anything in Sunday's paper. Bill, I just finished up my first mock draft for the Steelers. It's going to go the day after the Super Bowl, so you have to wait for Monday on that one. Oh, I know what I'm doing. For Sunday, I'm actually writing the Hall of Fame stuff. So looks like Bill Nunn is hopefully going to get in for his and his family's sake tomorrow night, and then hopefully Alan Faneca will finally hear his name called too. So yeah, I'll be on I'll be on call. We're heading on deadline tomorrow night when they announce the Pro Football 2021 Hall of Fame class.
And, you know, a former Pittsburgh press writer, and we traveled a lot together. We were good friends, and he had a good time at my wedding. Just ask him. My bachelor party, excuse me. But I just had John Clayton on, and I got the feeling that he thinks that one of the two, Baselli or Faneca, will win. Not both. But, you know, Baselli wasn't around very long. But Alan Faneca, how many Pro Bowls, you know? How many All-Star games? And, you know, he was in a Super Bowl. And he was just one of the guys that, you know, you could always depend upon. There was one game where he had to switch positions, and he did just as well. I would think when you compare the two, Faneca wins hands down. But I don't know how some of these guys, young guys especially, coach. And, you know, there's some young guys out there who have a vote, well, we got too many Steelers in there. Well, if you're good enough, you know, you should be in no matter what color of the uniform you may be wearing, right?
Oh, I agree with you. Alan Faneca was in 9 Pro Bowls. He is a 6-time first-team All-Pro. And Bill, among NFL offensive guards in the Hall of Fame, the only one who is not there, who is not in and made first-team All-Pro 6 or more times, it's Alan Faneca. So I think it's well past due. But I think you're right. I think probably only one of those guys will get in. That's kind of been the trend the last couple of years. 2 years ago, Kevin Mawai got in. Last year, Steve Hutchinson got in. So hopefully it's Faneca this year. You know, Baselli, probably a worthy candidate, but he only played, I think, 6, maybe 7 seasons. He was kind of a guy who was always injured, too. So if you're asking me, I'd pick Faneca over him any day of the week. But, I'm sure both those guys will get on someday.
You know what shocked me this morning? Reading your paper and having a cup of coffee. Matter of fact, I almost spilled my coffee. Steeler fans, you got to be a little bit older to remember this name, Tom Moore. He was on Chuck Noll's staff from 1977 to 89. Is he alive? Yeah. Is he working? Yeah. He's an offensive consultant in Tampa Bay, and he's 82. He says he loves to coach. He loves to coach. He wants to coach till he dies.
He wants to keep working. How about that?
Yeah. You know, I'm 69. I don't want to keep working, but I got utility bills to pay. So, but you know what? I didn't know he was still coaching. This is his 41st season in the National Football League. Wow.
I think he has the distinction of being Chuck Noll's first offensive coordinator because for many, many years, Chuck coordinated the offense himself, and then I think finally Moore took that over. I want to say like 82 or something like that. But that's another Steelers connection. Also, I think Tom Moore knows Bruce Arians from their days in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So I think Bruce is just continuing to bring guys in that he knows, and can't argue with his success, right? I mean, the Bucs have had a great year, and they'll be gunning for the Super Bowl on Sunday night.
Did you tell me earlier this week? I forgot who I had on it. It's just like a who's who. I don't know. Maybe you did tell me. Maybe you told me when I talked to you off the record and off the air. Roger Kingdom, Olympic sprinter from Pitt, is the speed and conditioning coach for Tampa.
Yep, and that's another one. He was with Bruce when Bruce was in Arizona, so Bruce brought him along too. So how about that? How many years ago was he an Olympian, and here he is helping teams in the NFL. So how about the Bucs coaching staff, Bill? 29 assistant coaches.
Yeah,
that is just crazy, the number of assistants he has. But obviously, they're doing a good job this year.
I think Chuck Noll's first year, 69 or whatever, he won the first game and then lost 13 in a row, They've only played 14 back then. They started the season beating Detroit, then lost everyone after that. But I think Chuck only had like 6 assistants. Now all the teams got 12, 15. That's a big payroll.
I think more teams are like the Buccaneers than the Steelers. I think the Steelers still only have 12 or 13 assistants. No. But I think more teams are like the Bucs. You're looking at 20, 22, 24 assistants on some of these coaching staffs. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Who were the 2 coaches that applied for Chuck Noll's job? Wisenhunt and Grimm?
Russ Grimm, yeah.
Yeah, Russ Grimm. Well, his son is the, what does he do? He's the defensive and special teams assistant for Tampa. So there's another Western Pennsylvania connection or Steelers connection.
Yeah, Scottsdale's own Russ Grimm. So, Russ isn't coaching anymore, but I think his son's name is Cody.
Yes.
And he's been a coach in the league for a while now. So, yeah, just it's like Steelers South down there.
Yeah,
All the
Aliquippa's
connections
Anthony
with that.
Paroli.
Yeah.
He's the head strength and conditioning coach. Ambridge's Corey Beachy, I don't know. He's Paroli's assistant. I mean, you could call Tampa Bay, the Steelers team of the South with all of these connections,
Yep.
It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Did I tell you my prediction? Hold on.
No,
I didn't tell you. Did I tell John? Yeah, I told John Clayton. Here we go. I got Bucks 35, Chiefs 31. Ask me who's my MVP.
Who you got?
AB, 2 touchdowns, 110 yards.
That's not a bad pick. He's coming off an injury, but it looks like he's going to play. So.
Yeah. He doesn't have the speed of Mr. Hill of Kansas City, but you know what? He finds a way of getting open. Brady knows this. They've worked together for a while, and I'm just thinking, AB's going to have a great game, and wouldn't it be funny if all the things we've said about him, good, bad, whatever, he's still a super athlete. Imagine being the MVP. Imagine Le'Veon Bell, a next Steeler reject. I mean, I didn't say that. A next Steeler. What if he has a great game? What if he scores the winning touchdown? I could hear Steeler Nation now.
Yeah, I mean, one of those guys is going to have a Super Bowl ring. I don't get the feeling that people in Pittsburgh are rooting against Le'Veon Bell, but I kind of get that feeling about Antonio Brown. So that'll be interesting. Neither of those guys left here on great terms. Obviously, Le'Veon's is more of a business decision type of thing. AB's was just that was totally off the rails. But one of those guys is going to be able to hug the Lombardi on Sunday night, and I think when they were in their prime and the Steelers were so good. I think a lot of people here thought they might see that happen with the Steelers, but they could never quite get over the hump.
Stop the train. We already know Rob Gronkowski spent some time in the Pittsburgh area. LaShawn McCoy's with him, right?
He is. He's kind of like Le'Veon, though. He's kind of like third or fourth string running back at this point. But,
Unbelievable.
Give him credit. He's still on a roster.
Yeah. And then, I have circled Antoine Randall L. because this is the anniversary of Super Bowl 40. He threw that touchdown pass. You remember that one?
Yeah. Hines Ward.
Yeah.
A little reverse play action there. Yeah, that was one of the more memorable gadget plays in Super Bowl history. One of the few that actually worked, and such an important time for the Steelers too. I think there was maybe 8 or 9 minutes left in the game, and that put them ahead 21-10. So big play in that football game.
Were you there covering the game?
I was not. I was on that day, George. I was covering
George. George.
I'm sorry. I was covering Pitt Georgetown in Washington D.C. and that was a noon tip-off. So I went down with my buddy Dave Mackle. Dave used to work at the
I know Dave.
Greensburg Tribune Review. Went down with him and his buddy. We covered the game, did our interviews, and then we rode back. And we ended up following our stories somewhere in Bedford, somewhere around there. And then I actually, Dave dropped me off at my in-laws' house in Irwin. Dropped me off around end of the second quarter. So I got to see the second half. So that day's always kind of memorable for me because I listened to half of it on the radio and then saw the second half. But no, I was not in Detroit for that game. That's back when I was covering the Pitt hoops team.
Yeah. Did Pitt beat Georgetown?
They did. They always seem to beat Georgetown.
Yeah.
But that was during Pitt's great run there. So that was they actually won that game, and they won a lot of games at Georgetown over the years.
Yeah, Pitt was pretty good back then. Now they're good, but they seem to win 3 or 4 and lose 3 or 4. But they're young, so that's not an excuse. And the ACC's not very strong this year, so maybe they'll win 1 or 2 during March Madness. But yeah, I enjoyed. I was in Detroit twice. Well, Pontiac, whatever. To me, it's Detroit for Super Bowls, and I had a good time both times. So I got to go to the Fox Theater that was renovated. I got to go to the the Motown House for a second time, which I really liked. I couldn't believe that they recorded all their songs in a small little house, but it was great. I had a fun time. I went down to the, what's the Greek Center called, Lola? I had a great gyro. Greektown, yeah. So, I was one of the few that didn't complain. Because, a lot of our colleagues, they need the warm weather. They need Miami. They need Bourbon Street. Well, I've been there, done that. Next year they can have California. Isn't it in L.A. next year?
Next year, L.A., the year after that, Glendale, Arizona, and then the year after that, I think New Orleans. So, yeah, I think we're in warm weather cities here for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to work on the draft right after the Super Bowl game, huh?
Yeah, that's no combine this year, because of COVID and everything like that. But, yeah, my first mock draft will be Monday. I'll do a mock draft every 3 or 4 weeks or so leading up to the draft. So I always enjoy this time of year. People always interested about what's next for the Steelers. Always want to, find out what they're going to be like next season. And this is a very important draft for them, Bill. They got holes all over their roster, and they're going to have to get some younger and some better players in here if they want to contend with the likes of the Browns and the Ravens next year.
The Swiss cheeses of the AFC, huh? Lots of holes. Yeah.
Lots of holes.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. All right. I always look forward to your columns. Always look forward to the Sunday paper. It's got to be 5 inches high, but a lot of it's ads, but the sports section is very, very good. So you keep up the good work. And I didn't get a score from you.
I'm going to go Kansas City. I like the Chiefs 27-21. I think it'll be a little bit lower scoring than some people might think. But I like Patrick Mahomes. I just think that guy's really good, and I'm not going to bet against him in a big game like this.
Okay, and if Brady wins, you don't care, right? Because, you like the old guys.
Yeah, why not? I'm actually only a couple years older than that guy, so that'll be one for the old guys if that happens.
Speaking of old guys, Roger Staubach celebrating a birthday today. Boy, what a career at Navy, Dallas Cowboys quarterback. A couple of times he went up against Bradshaw, which is always good. And he was a Heisman Trophy winner. Navy back in 1963. How old do you think Roger the Dodger is today, Ray? I'll give you within 3 years.
Okay, I'm going to say Roger is 76 years old.
That's 3. That's pretty good. 79.
Oh, okay.
And when we talk, I got to know him a few years ago, and I keep in touch with him maybe once a year. He always brings up a Steeler defensive end that knocked him out in a preseason game, and he never was right after that. That guy was L.C. Greenwood. It was a preseason game in Dallas, and Roger was headed for the sidelines, and number 68 belted him. I mean, it was a clean hit, but, that's great memories. And I remember Pitt had that great team in 63, but there was an assassination of our president, and instead of going to the Sugar Bowl to face Navy for maybe a championship, they went to a lower bowl bid because they haven't played Penn State yet. And the pollsters or whatever said, well, you know what? We don't have anything from Pitt, Penn State. They could easily be 9-1 or 10-1 or whatever. Their only loss during the regular season was to Navy. So, yeah, that was a pretty good year for football. Pretty good year.
It was.
Yep. Roger was really good. Pitt was really good. Maybe their best team in the 60s. And, of course, Navy was good because they had Roger Staubach, who had to wait, 5 years?
Yeah,
yeah.
People now. If you go to one of the academies now, I think they actually let you go try the NFL before serving your 5-year commitment. But that was back in the day when Roger and all the other guys who were good enough to make it to the NFL. You had to wait till you were 28, 29 years old.
And he was 0-2 against the Steelers. Sorry, Roger. He played in Super Bowl 5, 6, 10, 12, and 13. Okay. Good guy.
Pretty good. Yep.
Made billions of dollars selling his big insurance company, so he's a pretty smart guy, too. Well, to do what he did in the Navy Academy off the playing field, you got to be somewhat smart, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, not everybody can go to Holy Cross and get a degree and play football, right?
Oh, that's true. Not everyone.
And how's their basketball team doing? Are they playing or not?
They are playing. They're not doing great this year, but they got a local kid. They got a kid from Latrobe High School who starts for them and is actually one of their better players. So, yeah, they're not doing too great record-wise, but they're okay.
All right, Ray. Look forward to your column on Sunday. Thanks for the update on everything and everybody, and good luck, and we'll talk draft with you soon.
All right, Bill. Talk to you next week.
All right, Ray Fittipaldo, the Crusader out of Holy Cross. We'll be right back.
My little girl hurt her foot and needed a doctor fast, but her physician wasn't available, and I wanted her seen as soon as possible. Then I remembered the Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care, right in downtown Wheeling at the Stone Center on Market Plaza. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, the center is ideal if you have a sudden sickness or injury. The doctors and nurses were great, and they also provided x-rays, a pharmacy, and lab draw station. No appointments needed, and convenient parking is nearby. Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care. They'll take good care.
Island Pawnbrokers is now your local firearm dealer. In a pinch? Need cash quick? See us before going to the big box stores. Paying top dollar for firearms, gold, silver, tools, coins, and electronics. Don't lose your good credit. Let us give you instant cash. Stop by 2 North Broadway Street on Wheeling Island, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Island Pawnbrokers. Stop in for instant cash.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to
Celebrate the 55th edition of the big game with exclusive 55-1 odds on FanDuel Sportsbook. And if you've never tried FanDuel before, new users can bet on either team and get 55-1 odds. Now, FanDuel has all kinds of ways for you to win. They've got a wide range of options. Big super boosts every weekend, odds, boosts, and specials all the time. Your withdrawals come very quickly, and it's easy to register, deposit, and easy to find your bet. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Use promo code Monroe to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Monroe. Brother Biff is betting on Kansas City. He says it'll be a close game, but he's predicting KC to win if you want to get a little suggestion from Brother Biff. So download the app and get started. You must be 21 or older, present in Pennsylvania or West Virginia, new users only, must wager on designated boost markets, deposit required, maximum bonus $275. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-GAMBLER.
Does this current crisis leave you wondering how to pay your bills? Well, a lot of people are struggling right now. I'm attorney Tom McIntyre. Call me today to schedule your telephone or video conference meeting, and I will send you a copy of my new book about bankruptcy, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Call 877-456-4155. Together, we will figure out what to do now and what to do when this is over. We will get through this together.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gellner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gellnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Oh, there's something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm loving living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
The perfect cure for your quarantine blues. The Watchdog on Facebook Live. Watch The Watchdog weekdays on Facebook Live, beginning with the morning show with Howard Monroe at 7 a.m. Local talk radio, Watchdog style. Give us a call
The Metro
and
News
tell us what you're thinking. Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232-8255.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. Governor Jim Justice has a change of heart about state workers returning to the office.
Justice's Deputy Chief of Staff, Ann Erling, sent out a memo to cabinet secretaries Thursday morning. In it, she said the governor wanted all full-time employees, many who have worked from home since March because of the pandemic, to return to the workplace on a full-time basis. A few hours later, by Thursday evening, Erling had sent out a clarification memo that said the governor would continue leaving the determination about whether non-essential employees could work from home up to his cabinet secretaries and state agency heads.
That is Jeff Jenkins reporting. A federal lawsuit's been filed by a man shot dead in October of last year by a Roane County deputy. The complaint filed on behalf of Michael Nichols' family claims the deputy involved there had been involved in a previous officer-related shooting and had not been properly instructed or supervised. Nichols was shot when he refused to comply with the deputy's orders in October of 2020 and appeared to be reaching for a weapon. Attorneys say he was not armed at the time. An expansion project for the Raleigh County Airport has received a boost. State leaders announcing the approval of a $1.75 million federal EDA grant for the project. The overall cost will be $8.3 million, and the federal grant was the last piece of the funding needed. The money will be used to help expand the airport property and prepare for the installation of an aerospace business that could create hundreds of jobs for southern West Virginia. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Education officials say the rate of high school seniors filling out the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA, is down substantially this year. The pandemic and the disjointed education system with all its remote learning is largely blamed for that decline. Now actress and Charleston native Jennifer Garner is lending her notoriety to a new video on YouTube to encourage students to make that application, which is a key to any financial aid for college. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself in another part of the world, and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, and you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself, where is that large automobile? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was. 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 Water dissolving and water removing. There is water at the bottom of the ocean. Under the water, carry the water. Remove.
I think I'm going to have 4 or 5 fireballs when I'm done here. So I called Butch, right? About 4 rings. I said, Butch, I thought you were going to call me. What's going on? Bill, it's Ray. Ray Fittipaldo. Here, I wrote both numbers down.
Called the wrong guy.
Called the wrong guy. I just had him on as a guest, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I usually do call in, but I was.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's on me. It's on me. You know.
Didn't you do that yesterday, too, with Waxel?
Yeah, why do you have to mention that? You make me look stupid, Lola, because I am. Yeah, I did that yesterday with Jim Wexel. Yeah. Hey, the other day I thought I was calling Jack Lambert, and I got somebody out of Ginger Hill, which is in Bentleyville. I don't know how I got that number. Then I realized about 5 hours later, oh, that was one of my producers who lived there. That was his number. And I called it, and it's no longer in service, whatever. But this is Butch, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and Lola's across the way, right?
I guess so. You tell me.
Yeah. Now, who am I?
I see it.
Who am I?
Bill DeFabio, the
That's
famous, the one and only.
Yeah, well,
whatever
there's-
you take it, the Watchdogs official sports guy,
Okay, well, that's enough.
and variety guy too,
Variety guy. Okay, all
which
right.
is why I'm here.
Yeah, you're going to have a variety of stuff for me.
I do. I like to talk about varieties of things.
Yeah.
I had mentioned to you that the Golden Globe nominations came out this past week, and in a year in which there is not a lot of entertainment news, since most major releases were suspended for a little while. There were some pretty interesting nominations. Did you pay any attention to this?
That'll be a no.
That'll be a no?
I've been so busy with getting, high-profile players on talking about the Super Bowl. It's been like Super Bowl all week, and I am very sorry. That's why I got you, to make me look good.
That's right. I can just remind you of the non-football world. Although we can talk about the Super Bowl related stuff
All right.
too. I understand there is a game coming up, but some of
You won't be watching it, will you?
I may be. I don't know.
Okay.
It's okay. I can enjoy football. I have no interest in who wins or loses. It doesn't matter to me. But,
Okay. All right.
But I thought some of the Best Picture nominees were kind of interesting for this. I mean, what's on the Golden Globes doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an Oscar nominee because the categories are different. But some of the ones I thought were worthy was the film Mank, which is on Netflix, is nominated, and that's really good because it's a very stylized take on the co-author of Orson Welles' Citizen Kane, and it's really very interesting and well done. It's done kind of like a noir movie. And another nominee that I think is interesting is the Trial of the Chicago 7, which is also on Netflix and worthy of taking a look at. There are a few others too that may be a precursor for Oscar nominations. I'm not really sure. But, this year there just really weren't that many. Here's how bad 2020 was for movies. Borat, the subsequent movie film, got several nominations. And I saw it. One that you can look for is, that may carry over from Golden Globes to Oscars is Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy. She was really amazing in that. So I think that's something. And speaking of Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen was also nominated for his work in the Trial of Chicago 7. He was playing a very un-Borat-like character in that film. So, again, another reason to check that out too. There are a lot of names on this list, even as much of an aficionado as I am, that I've not seen. That's sort of I don't know, the update on the Golden Globes.
You know what I just finished?
What's that?
Lola, you listening? Because Lola said you got to watch it all. I didn't realize it was over 3 hours. The Irishman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I didn't know Jimmy Hoffa was cremated.
Yeah.
I'm there. What?
Yeah.
Did I miss history?
In a matter of speaking, apparently, at least according to that film, which seems to be, it's based on truth. So yeah.
Yeah. How about Al Pacino playing Jimmy Hoffa? Did you like that?
I thought he was great. Al
thought, yeah.
Pacino is one of the finest actors of our day. I think.
Lola, what'd you think?
Yeah,
What'd you think of the series?
that was really good.
Yeah, I should have listened to you when it first came out, but I didn't have anything to do, so I watched it in 2 parts. I know it was long. It was never. You know what? It was 3 hours and 20 minutes, but it was never a boring moment.
No, it's really compelling, and you're right to probably watch it in 2 sittings if you can. But Scorsese wouldn't like that. He wants you to watch it all at once.
Joe Pesci looked like an old guy, didn't he? Harvey
He
Keitel.
did.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah. I mean, they aged him a bit, but
Yeah.
really what they did, the remarkable thing technically with that film is how they made the older actors look young, and so you got to see young Robert De Niro and Pesci looked like he did in in the early days. What one of these in Goodfellas, or my cousin Vinny or something, you know. Hey, I mean, you know, Bill, you and I could use that. You know, we, you know, just take 20 years off of our looks, you know. And,
Yeah. I would still have the face for radio, though, right?
Well, I don't know. Maybe so. I'm not sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Lola? Would I look better 20 years younger?
I've seen pictures of you, Bill.
Yeah. Nice, huh?
I've seen pictures of you, Bill.
That's my Lola.
There's Lola.
I forgot what assignment. I forgot what assignment I gave you. Remind me, because that was a week ago.
Who, me?
Yeah. Soundtracks.
Oh, my.
Singers at the Super Bowl. What was it?
Singers at the Super Bowl is what you mentioned before. Yeah. You know, and I don't know. I'm a rock and roll guy, so there aren't too many great performers at the Super Bowl that I care about. It seems like about 20 years ago they had some that I liked. The Who performed there.
The Stones.
Yeah. So the Stones were pretty good. I've never really thought that they were. The Stones were all that good live, frankly, and I know that's a sacrilege, but I've seen them a few times, and Mick Jagger just doesn't sing on key, and you know he does in the studio, he does fine, but it just seems like I don't know, I've enjoyed them more, I don't know, some years ago, but again, I'm probably just talking like an old guy, you know, but you know, I think didn't Ella Fitzgerald perform at one of the very early Super Bowls?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
You know, the first couple Super Bowls, it was Grambling, like 2 Super Bowls in a row, which I always liked because that Grambling band, and I still think today is one of the greatest showstoppers around. Then they had Up With People, which is like 100.
Up With People.
Yeah, Up With,
right.
You know, there was like 100 kids on the field singing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Didn't they have that? Disney did a Small World once.
Yes,
right?
yes, they did.
Can you imagine what hell that would have been? So I think you know it generally got better, and then let's put it this way, a little more objectively, less to my taste as I start to become a grumpy old man. But over the years, but still, you know, I don't know. It could be. Who's performing this year? I haven't really paid any attention.
Lola, do you know? I forgot.
It's The Weeknd.
Oh, Weeknd. Yeah. And they'll be fine, I suppose. You know, but I don't know. You know, when I think about it, in the late '90s, there was a Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers performed. I mean, Belushi was dead by then, but I think his brother was there.
Yeah, Jimmy.
And that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Michael Jackson was decent when he did the moonwalk. When he did the moonwalk, whatever it was.
I don't remember what year, but Michael Jackson was always a great performer.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from that guy. No. You know, they've had some that I didn't really care about. And Shawna Twain was there one year, and it seems like they've not had just one, but several acts in more recent years. But McCartney was there one year.
That's right. You're right. Yeah, I remember that.
And the Stones the next year, and Prince. Prince
was there.
awesome.
Yeah. I was not a Prince fan. You?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
How about you, Lola? Did you like Prince? Yep. Okay. All right.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and Springsteen, and like I said, the Who. They were great. I know Madonna was there once. And I'm not sure what year Beyonce was there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bruno Mars, you know, and
Janet Jackson,
Katy Perry, Coldplay actually.
Coldplay. Yeah, that's right. I love that.
That was pretty recently, and I know Lady Gaga was there in more recent years. Justin Timberlake is always a great performer, and Maroon 5, I guess.
Well, I got some good news for you.
Yeah.
I win a Powerball when it's like 50, 60 million. I will call Roger Goodell. I have a cell number for him, but he never returns my calls, and I knew him at W&J when he was a bartender at a bar. I will call Roger, and I said, you know what? How much money do you need? Because I got this great group from Wheeling, West Virginia, that would like to perform at halftime. And he says, well, you know, Bill, money talks. I goes, how much to get the M80s? Now, if we're talking 10, 15 million, I'll give it to him so you can perform at halftime.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, we'll go for that.
I don't even have to introduce you. That's my gift to the M80s in the city of Wheeling. How do you like that?
Really? That'd be great.
You don't think the NFL would turn down 10 or 15 million, do you?
No. If you're gonna put that up, I think the M80s could be had. Yeah.
Yeah. You might have to find your own way to wherever it's going to be.
Okay. Well, I think we can manage that.
Yeah, we got LA next year for the Super Bowl, and then it's going to Arizona. So yeah, well, but first I got to win. You know, then I'll still have money left over to give Lola to get out of town. She only needs $1 million. Is it still $1 million, Lola, to get out of town?
Yeah.
Would you leave right away?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nope.
I got some sad news. Christopher Plummer died.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I had heard that just
How
a little
old,
while
Lola?
ago.
91.
Oh, great actor. Great actor.
Yeah, he kind of reemerged in recent years, in a number of things, including replacing Kevin Spacey in a movie, and doing very well. And I think he was Oscar nominated for that. So,
some of these guys, as they get older, it's like wine. You know, they're like vintage. I mean, they're still good at their job.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. Well, speaking of movies and stuff, are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. A lot of sports, so we won't talk that much. Red Buttons, did you like him?
Yeah. Red Buttons has actually been he's been kind of a joke among Mystery Theater people because
you make fun of that little guy with red hair.
Bert Ferroli likes to make fun of Red Buttons, but most of our younger actors don't even know Red Buttons. They just thought it was a funny name we made up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, what about Red Buttons?
Well,
Is his birthday?
He passed away in 2006 today. Would have been his birthday. He'd been really old. His real name was Aaron Chwatt. Chwatt. And I remember him. I remember the Red Buttons show, watching that in black and white. He was one of 40,000 stars in The Longest Day. Okay. He was in the Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
They Shoot Horses, Don't They? I don't remember that movie. Was that a good movie, Lola? They Shoot Horses, Don't They?
In the 60s.
Yeah.
It was acclaimed, yeah.
Yeah, okay. This guy always scared me, especially when I saw him in Invisible Invaders. They were like zombies, but they were invisible. John Carradine.
Oh yeah, he was a pretty scary guy.
Yeah, he appeared in over 200 films. I never knew that. He was in The Bride of Frankenstein. He was in Captain's Courageous. I can't remember that. It wasn't science fiction.
Yep, that's Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
And Spencer Tracy, Lionel Barrymore.
Wow. I do remember The Hound of the Bakersville. Was that a good one, Lola? Good
That
oldie?
is Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. The Grapes of Wrath. Wasn't that about poor people?
Yes, it was.
Who was the featured character?
Henry Fonda.
That's it. I remember. I think I cried when I watched that. Yeah. Born in 1906, died in 1988. Can you name his sons?
Well, I know David was one of them.
Okay. Kung Fu?
Yeah.
Was that Keith? Was that
Keith Carradine? Yeah, Keith Carradine.
Okay. All right. No nepotism there, but that's okay. John Carradine. His real name was Richmond Reed. John Richmond Reed. What a scary-looking guy. He played a lawyer in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And I had to laugh because playing a lawyer when he usually plays a ghost or a Dracula or whatever, he was a pretty good Dracula, too. I think he had a movie, The House of Dracula. But he was he was scarier, in my opinion, than Boris Karloff. Because I used to watch his show called Thriller. And he was scary. He was scary. Those guys just scared me. But I was a big John Carradine fan. Are you ready for, let's see, who's Christopher Guest? He was a comedy writer with Lily Tomlin. Yeah.
Christopher Guest. Yeah, what about him?
He was an Emmy Award-winning comedy writer.
Well, no, I know who he was. I mean, is it his birthday? Or?
Yeah, 1948.
Oh, okay. 1948. Okay.
He's 3 years older than me, so he's 41. No.
Yeah, he made all those great improvisational comedies with
Saturday Night Live, right?
Well, yeah, he was on that briefly, but he did This Is Spinal Tap and Waiting for Guffman and several other movies that were kind of like that. That were largely improvisational, and he worked with a company that just they made up backstories and then just rolled camera with no script. It was kind of amazing. They were really funny.
Wow. How about Barbara Hershey? Did you like her? Her real name was Barbara Herstein. She was in Beaches, The Right Stuff. She was in The Natural. From Here to Eternity. Hannah and Her Sisters. I didn't see that. Was that a good movie, Lola? Hannah and Her Sisters?
Yeah, it is. It's Woody Allen.
Oh,
It's Woody Allen.
Woody
Yeah.
Allen, yeah. All right, that's about it with stars, okay? Jennifer Jason Leigh. What did she do? The Hudsucker Proxy? Never heard of that. Single white female?
Great. And Hudsucker Proxy is a great movie.
I guess I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Easy Money, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Miami Blues, The Big Picture. Okay, all right. She is 1962. How old would she be, Uncle Billy? Let's see. That's 9. 6 from 11. 52?
No, like
No.
50. No, like
59?
55.
Okay. All right. Bobby Brown, Grammy Award-winning singer. Were you a big fan?
No, not really.
You know who he was married to, don't you?
No.
Whitney Houston.
Oh, yeah, I think I did know that.
You didn't know that? I didn't know that till I read that earlier. Here we go. You'll like this. The Chart Toppers, 1964. Instrumental was number 3, Out of Limits by the Marquettes. It sucked. Number 2, I was a big fan of Leslie Gore, You Don't Own Me. Number 1, your Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready for the 70s? You'll like this. Number 3 was the Beatles clone group called Badfinger, Day After Day.
I love that song. Great song.
Okay. Number
George
2.
Harrison played lead guitar on it.
I didn't know that. See what I learned from you? I was a big Al Green fan, and he had a number 2 hit called Let's Stay Together.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Number 1, as a disc jockey, working midnight at a small radio station, so I could talk to my friends who would come into the studio, and we'd sip some Coca-Cola and talk a little bit. We'd always play American Pie or Inagata Vita. American Pie was number 1. It was long.
Yeah.
What, 22 minutes?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a single, but there was a part 1 and part 2, wasn't there?
Yeah. Donnie
Donnie
McLean.
Yeah.
1 and out for Donnie.
Yeah.
Wasn't that about the tragedy with, what was the name?
Actually, he had a second hit a little
Yeah.
bit later, too. Don McLean had another hit called Vincent.
Vincent, yeah.
Vincent Van Gogh. And it was actually a bit pretty big, not as big as American Pie, but it was a pretty big hit.
Yep. Okay, last but not least, 1980, the country song, number 1, Coward of the County by Kenny Rogers. Yeah. Did you like Kenny Rogers? Yeah. Lola, are you nah too? Or would you like him?
There are things like, The Gambler and things like that.
Okay.
And, as an actor, those were just brain candy movies, kind of. And, my mom was a big fan.
Yeah. Number 2, Do That to Me One More Time, Captain and Tennille. Number 1 was something that Lola and I like when we have you on the air. You ready? Rock With You by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a pretty good song.
Yeah, we like rocking with you, man.
Yeah.
1988, number 1 was Hazy Shade of Winter with the Bangles.
Yes, I liked it. That was a cover of the song by Simon and Garfunkel. But,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Number 2 was a song by Tiffany, Could Have Been.
Don't even remember that.
Yeah, you remember that, Lola? Oh, we're 0 for 3. That's okay. But we always like rocking with you, man.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, watch the Super Bowl for the ads.
For the ads and stuff, yeah, maybe even for the game, who knows?
Yeah, that's okay. You're not a big football fan, but that's all right.
I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. It's just like, that was pretty good play. That was the other team. What's wrong with you? I don't care. I don't care.
You do watch the Academy Awards and everything, right? From beginning to end.
The
Grammys?
Usually I do, but at least the Academy Awards and the Tonys. I like those too.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
Not so much the others. Award shows are kind of I can only take so much of that stuff too. But I'm always interested in who wins the awards anyway. You know, so.
I'm watching the best of the Smothers Brothers, and some of the things they said back then, you could not say it today.
I'll bet. I love the Smothers Brothers. Yeah.
But you remember, Mom always liked you best. Don't drown in a tub full of chocolate. Stupid songs, I like them all. We got to go. Have a good weekend.
Right. Bye, you too.
Butch of the M80s. Got to get him to play the Super Bowl if I win the Powerball. Lola, you have a good weekend. Have fun on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep, we got to go.
I'm out of here.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Millions who have filed for jobless benefits since the start of the pandemic. The Labor Department also showing